Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in. Come on in, everyone. Come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in. It's Tammy Durden coming to you live this evening for the late night edition of Take Action Thursday. Come on in, everyone. Hey, over there on Instagram, thank you so much for joining. Come on in, everybody. Hey, Damaris. Hey, Khaled, thank you so much for joining. Hello. Come on in, everybody, for the late night edition of Take Action Thursday. Come on in, everybody. I'm so super excited to be on live with you today. Charles James, aka CJ. Thank you for jumping on, sir. How many of you know something big is about to happen in your life? I'm so excited about that. Yes, come on in. If you haven't already, go ahead and like, tag, and share the broadcast. Invite somebody else to join us on tonight. Yes. It's going to be big. Something big is about to happen in your life. If you're on live with me today, give me some hearts, a thumbs up, or just say hey and let me know that you're on live with me this evening for the late night edition of Take Action Thursday. Come on in, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Hey, Miranda. Thank you so much for joining. I'm going to invite some more friends to join us on this evening. Again, go ahead and like, tag, and share the broadcast. Your future is big. Your destiny is big. The new job is big. Something great, something phenomenal is about to happen in your life. I believe that. Come on in, everybody. If you're on live with me today, go ahead and jump in and say hey. Give me some hearts, some thumbs up, and let me know that you're on with me for the late night edition of Take Action. Well, I call it Take Action. Take Action Thursday. Come on in, everybody. Come on in, come on in, come on in. I'm so super excited to be on live with you. Welcome, welcome, welcome on Facebook, on Instagram. So super excited to be live with you on this evening for the late night edition of Take Action Thursday. We are taking action in our lives. We made a commitment early on this year that we're going to take action and transform our lives into something amazing. Welcome, everybody. For those of you who are not familiar with me, my name is Tammy Durden, international speaker, author, and image coach. And what professional women, female entrepreneurs, and women in ministry hire me to do is to help them push past setbacks and stagnancy, to identify their authentic style and transform their image into something amazing. How many of you know how you show up in the world matters? Image is everything, and how you show up in the world matters. So it's important that we do the necessary. It's important that we show up appropriately in the world. You only get one chance for a first impression. You only get a chance to land that new job, that big position, to get that promotion in that interview. And so you want to make sure that your inner image and your outer image is intact. And a lot of times we miss out on opportunities because we don't realize that we have some image flaws, that with a few tweaks of something that it will open the door for more opportunities for us. So I am the image maker. In addition to that, for those of you who may not know, I am also founder and executive director of Tammy Durden Ministries International. We are a global women's empowerment organization, and what we help women to do is to identify and walk in their purpose, and we prepare them forward to reach their divine destiny. And so as a part of an annual event that we have with Tammy Durden Ministries International is our annual Get Up, Dust Yourself Off and Win Women's Empowerment Conference, where this year we are inviting men to the conference. Why are we inviting men to the conference this year? Because we are having what's called the Worthiness Experience. The Worthiness Experience involves identifying, reinforcing your worth in the areas of dating, relationships, marriages, and business. It's identifying and redefining your worth to charge what you're worth in business, to know that you're worthy to be in a great relationship, to know that you're worthy to be married or remarried again, that it's not over, you're not washed up, you're not, it's not the end, but you are worthy. Because you know what happens oftentimes in life, when life hits and happens, it diminishes our self-worth. We don't think that we're worthy to be loved again. We don't think that we're worthy to charge our worth in business. And so that's what the Worthiness Experience is going to be about this year. We have some amazing panel experts in the area of relationships. Dr. D. Ivan Young. We have Dr. Scott Davenport, Brendan Angel Rhodes are all phenomenal relationship experts that's going to empower us to have healthier relationships, healthier marriages, to help navigate the dating scene and how to get that right. And so it's going to be absolutely amazing. Be sure to go to bit.ly/getupandwin19 and grab your tickets to the conference today. We have in-person tickets. For those of you who are not in the Houston area, we have virtual tickets. So you can join us virtually for the entire conference. And it's going to be amazing. I'll be keynote speaker that day. We have Christy Arnold coming all the way from Kansas to be with us. Dr. Connie Stewart is going to empower us in the area of business. And so it's going to be amazing. Again, go to bit.ly/getupandwin19 and grab your tickets. Again, men are invited to the conference this year. So husbands, bring your wives. Wives, bring your husbands. Ladies, bring your boo. And we're inviting men so that we can all get on the same page with the same information. I've actually been mandated by God to help bridge the gap between men and women in the area of relationships and marriages and dating. I think that there has been some misinformation and some missed information. And so by men and women coming together, getting the same information, oftentimes we get help in areas of our lives. We get help in other areas. Maybe we're trying to advance in our career, we get a career coach. Or we're having some struggles in our life, maybe we'll get a life coach. Maybe you need some help with your image and you get an image coach. But when it comes to dating and relationships and marriages, though in those areas we tend to not get the help and guidance that we need. So at Get Up and Win 19, it's going to be an absolutely amazing experience. It's going to be a safe space. I believe that divine connections are going to take place. I believe that marriages are going to be restored. I believe that people are going to be healed from the past hurts of old relationships. I believe that people are going to leave with a renewed self-worth of who you are, what you're worth, and that you are worthy of God's best for your life. So again, go to bit.ly/getupandwin19 and grab your tickets to the conference on October the 5th. Remember, if you're in Houston, join us. If you're not in Houston, we have virtual tickets where you can join us for the entire conference that day. So super excited to be on live with you today. Hey, let's see who else has joined us. Hey, Armando, thank you for joining. Katrina Moore. Hey, sis, thank you for watching. I'm waiting on you, sis. I haven't seen you register yet. Yes, I'm calling you out live on Facebook. Hey, Edward, thank you so much for joining. Hey, Roylene, I appreciate you. Oh, yes, been missing you too, Roylene. Hello. Hey, Shan, thank you for joining. Lasagna, how are you? Thank you so much for jumping on. Hey, Shavonda, thank you for joining. Hello, hello, my new friend. Hey, Sandra, thank you so much for watching. Welcome, 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 everyone. So let's talk about, let's get into our discussion on tonight. And so our discussion is surrounding the topic, big things come in small packages. Big things come in small packages. Well, you know, oftentimes the Bible talks about despising small beginnings. And sometimes when things are not in our lives and opportunities are not big, grand, and bold, we despise them, or we don't think as much of them because it's not big, because it's not grand, because it's not fancy, because it doesn't have all the bells and whistles to it. But how many of you know when opportunity knocks on your door, sometimes big things come in small packages? And so oftentimes with our in relationships and in business, we tend to despise those things that are small, even if we have a small start. So if you're in business and maybe you're getting off to a small start, maybe you're in a relationship and maybe it's just kind of a little friendship that's dwindling along, and you know, but you're ready for the full-blown relationship. Or in business, you're ready for, you know, a full-blown business, you know, with hundreds and thousands of customers. But I want to encourage you today to don't despise the small beginnings, because oftentimes big things come in small packages. It's in the small beginnings. It's in the meager beginnings. It's in opportunities that don't appear to be big on the outside, but really, it's really an opportunity. It's a start that's building you. yes, Katrina, I did. It's really a start that's really building you up to where you want to be. I can remember being in business. Initially, my first business, I owned a mortgage company, and with the mortgage company, man, when starting out in that business, I didn't have a team. I was it and everything for that business. I was the IT person. I was the receptionist. I was the CEO. I was the administrator. I was the, everything. I was the CFO. I was the financial person. I was the accountant. When something happened with the computers, I had to try to fix that. I was in and of myself. I had to do everything because it was a small beginning for me. And so I couldn't afford to hire the people that I needed to hire when I first started. I couldn't, I processed my own loans. I went out and got the business. I processed the loans. I went and closed the loans. From A to Z, I did the whole process. But that was a small beginning. I didn't have a staff. I didn't have a team. I didn't have any of that. But it was a small beginning. Hey, over there on Insta. Hey, Emma, thank you so much for joining. Hello. Thank you so much for jumping on. I appreciate you. We're talking about big things come in small packages. And so when in business, I didn't have all of those things. So I had a choice. I could have either complained, and so that's what happens when we have small beginnings and things start off small. We start complaining. We become ungrateful. We're not grateful for those small beginnings. We're not grateful for those small opportunities. We're not grateful for it. So we start complaining. We start murmuring, oh, I got to do everything. I got to go to drop the bank deposit off. I have to answer the phone. Yes, it's a small beginning. But what you have to remember is things won't always stay small. If you are diligent in the small things, then you'll be promoted to having more things. The Bible talks about that and says that if you're faithful over a few things, then God will make you ruler over many. So if you're faithful over the small things, over the small tasks, over the meager beginnings in your business, if you're faithful in that relationship, and maybe again it's just starting off as a small friendship, don't complain about what the other person is not doing and how you wish it would be, but be grateful for the friendship and take that in stride. and be faithful right there in that. And when you're faithful right there, then that's when more opportunities and so begin to come your way. Hey, LaDon, thank you for joining. Yolanda, hey, thank you for joining. Hey, Alice, thank you so much for jumping on. It's the late night edition of Take Action Thursday. I'm Tammy Durden. We're having a quick conversation and discussion on this evening about big things come in small packages. Big things come in small packages. So don't miss your blessing. Don't miss out on an opportunity. Has anybody ever had that to happen before? You started off small and you complained about it, you griped about it, and before you know it, you didn't even have the small thing anymore. That was taken away. And then when you look back on it, you say in hindsight, man, I shouldn't have been complaining about that. It really wasn't that bad. You know, the opportunity really wasn't, you know, that bad if I would have just remained faithful in that small beginning. If I just would have been a good steward and taken care of things where I was, then God would have blessed me with more. Hey, Adrian, thank you for joining, woman of God. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's the late night edition of Take Action Thursday. We're talking about big things come in small packages. Don't despise those small beginnings because God has something greater for you. And if you are just faithful right where you are. And so as I was in the mortgage company, I was talking about that, and I own the mortgage company. Started out small. I did everything. I was everything. Every hat I wore, from IT to secretary, you know, to all of those things. But I remained diligent in that business and doing those things. And so I couldn't afford a team. I couldn't afford a staff early on. So I did what I had to do. Didn't complain. There were a lot of late nights and early mornings. Now, how many of you know when you have small beginnings, it requires sacrifice? And oftentimes we don't want to sacrifice. We don't want to do the necessary. We don't want to make the necessary sacrifices that it's going to take in with those small beginnings, with those things that are, and so we have to be sure that we're diligent, that we're committed, and that we are committed to the sacrifice, that we're committed to do the necessary, to go above and beyond in those small beginnings, because a lot of times we're being tested to see how faithful we're going to be right where we are. That's before we get more. That's before God blesses us with more. God wants to see how faithful are you going to be with the little things. Are you going to be grateful for that small beginning, that small start? Are you going to be diligent right where you are, or are you going to complain about it? Are you going to quit and give up? And so oftentimes big things come in small packages, because if we continue to do the necessary with the small beginnings, with the small packages, what appears to be small. And so that sometimes can be the trick, because what appears to be small is not always small. Although it started out small, it's not going to always be small. And so if we can endure the process, if we can remain faithful and diligent right now where the business is. And so I started out with just me. And then so as I was faithful and diligent with doing the things, and again, it requires sacrifice, some early mornings, some late nights, wearing many different hats. Thank you for the love. But how many of you know that as time progressed, and as I remained faithful, as I remained committed, as I remained diligent to that business, right where I was, the business began to grow. It began to take on a metamorphosis. It began to transform into something. It no longer looked like what it used to, because I remained faithful. I began to hire loan officers, so I didn't have to do all the loans anymore. A receptionist where I didn't have to answer the phones all the time anymore. A loan processor where I didn't have to do all the paperwork anymore. It ultimately got to the point where I would just show up at some of the closings and collect the check. Sometimes I didn't even have to show up at the closings. My loan officers did, but it didn't start that way. And so that's what I want everybody to get a hold of and to recognize. Hey, Stacy, thank you for joining. It did not start that way, nor did that transformation happen overnight. And so we've got to be patient in the process, and we've got to be committed, to be diligent, and to do the necessary things that are going to get us from where we are to where we want to be. And remember that big things come in small packages. How long will it stay small? You know, there is no set timeline, but I guarantee you, if you remain faithful right where you are in the small things, if you remain diligent in doing the necessary right where you are, that God will promote you. He will bless you. He'll bring you from the back to the front. He will begin to send people to use their power, ability, influence, and money to help you if you remain diligent. Don't despise the small beginnings, because remember, big things come in small packages. So that's my time for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me for the late night edition of Take Action Thursday. If you haven't already, go ahead, like, tag, and share the broadcast. Also, if you haven't registered for the Get Up, Dust Yourself Off, and Win Women's Empowerment Conference on October the 5th, where men are invited, be sure to go to bit.ly/getupandwin19. Grab your tickets, your in-person tickets if you're in Houston. If you're not in Houston, grab your virtual ticket today, and it's going to be amazing. So that's my time for tonight. Thank you so much for the love. If you're watching with me live, I appreciate you. If you're watching the replay, I equally appreciate you. Maybe you're on one of my watch parties. I equally appreciate you. Thank you so much. And I look forward to talking to you on tomorrow for Finish Strong Friday. Have a great one, everyone. See you then.